So right now we're gonna show you a female body that was found on the moon. So the pilot of this ship, what you're looking at are piloting devices that are attached to her face. So advanced, it makes a person look like they're psychic almost, but there's just technology. The people in the old world in the time of Noah lived in an advanced state of technology. These are computer circuits, by the way, and these are actually very advanced computer circuits. These are circuits that have been attached to a blanket. This blanket was draped on the pilot. For some reason, this covering was on half of her body. There's two things on it. One is that the covering is some type of computer circuit board that's used for the ship. Another one is that it's an example of transhumanism technology, that this daughter of man, this specific female, had cybernetic implants in her, and one of that was this type of covering that was on her leg, which is telling us that the technology back then that they achieved in terms of cyborg technology was very real, and this is a piece of it that's on her. And much of the transhumanism doctrine that's coming out with the connection to what happened in Noah's time very much supports transhumanism rather than it being a device that's part of a piloting function. But when you look further into it, you see that there's actual computer circuits inside of it. Attached to her skin, by the way. And that's why the transhumanism technology makes far more sense, because it's very much attached to her actual person. One thing you gotta understand, the astronauts' impression of it when they came onto the site of it, the Apollo 20 crew, was that they felt that a violent incident took place. And what will eerily shock you is that a lot of old world technology that's found all have traces of a violent disturbance that had taken place on it, from having laser holes blasted into them, from bodies being found in pieces and being found in suspicious ways, showing that they were in a state of panic and violence at the time that the flood effects were taking place. That these people were living in a very violent society. It said that the daughters of Cain basically. She is a daughter of man, as was registered in Genesis, meaning she is a descendant of Cain, and she was a witch and a old world pagan who was a advanced pilot, and she flew a mothership. And she is a member of the Rama Empire because the ship that she was found in registered to have been part of that old world empire in terms of the technology that was found. It's quite shocking. You know, Noah spoke about these Pacific women. He said that these were the women that corrupted the sons of God, the human sons of God. Some of them used to be married to fallen angels. That I do know about it. And it's sad. You know, it's a horrible reality to really wrap your mind around how much history has been stolen from you. So that you would never ever know this. These entities are real. They are hyperdimensional beings who take many different shapes and forms. Our government has lied to us about them since they showed up. And every world power has dealt with them at one point or another. And every world power has also lied to their citizens regarding them at one point or another. And the world that we live in is not quite what you think it is. And when it comes to our history and our past and the threat that we're dealing with right now, that was the threat of the past. Basically, if you don't know your enemy and if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it. And it's best that you wrap your mind around the truth of what you're seeing and understand that it's real. And we're affected by it each and every day. And we're always close to it each and every day. It's a time to basically reflect on what you saw and reflect on your faith in Jesus Christ, because he is king of that world that they come from, and he has everything in place. It's a time to really take what you saw and realize that the Bible supports this. This is the reality the Bible's been talking about, and this is what you've been denied in church. Church should be teaching you this stuff, but instead we have to. We hope more people will teach others. God bless you and good night.